Hey everyone, Rich Graham here. Welcome to Full Spectrum Warriors Get Your Head Under the Boat series. This is episode 5, Not the Quitting Type. In this episode, we're going to talk about not being the quitting type as far as quitting is a mentality. Quitting is a habit. You can be a loser, you can be a quitter. Many times winners win big and losers consistently lose. How many times have you seen people, or have you experienced, you play a sport or you do a project for work or something like that, and it's like you think you're gonna lose, so you just mail it in. You just kind of give up before it's even over, right? And man, it used to drive me insane to play sports. Like when I used to play basketball, and it was like you're looking at the clock and it's like, damn, we're down by freaking 20 and there's 2 minutes left. There's really not a high probability that we're going to catch up and win with only 2 minutes left and we're down by 20. And a lot of the dudes on the team that maybe you've done this or you see people do this is where they just kind of mail it in. They're like, oh, there's no point in me. Oh, they're going to get a fast break. There's no point in me chasing them down there. They're going to, we can't win at this point. So I'm not going to, spend the extra energy to chase after them down there. I'll let them get that fast break. I'll come down and get the ball, throw it in. We'll come back down, where that would drive me nuts. If we were down by 20 and there was 2 minutes left, I would play harder in that last 2 minutes than I did in like the entire rest of the game. And it wasn't about the fact that I thought we could win. It was, I'm not going to let these jerks beat us by 20. And I'm not going to give up because there's 2 minutes left and I don't think we can win. I'm going to play as hard as I can and reduce the amount that we're losing by, in hopes that we win, right? But I'm not going to ride it out until that clock stops. I'm in it to win it. And when you have an attitude like that, when you approach things like that, then you don't know where the light at the end of the tunnel is, right? But you don't know what the true reward is. Because you don't know who's watching. Someone might be watching and going, man, that team's losing, but look at the freaking fire in that one athlete out there. Like, that person is hungry. And you don't know where the reward is going to come from. Because it might not be that game. It might be something totally separate, right? That's being interwoven into that experience, that new opportunities show up, but because you have that winning mentality, right, and you drive all the way through, right, there's going to be times where there's things that you shouldn't win that you do win because you didn't quit and an opportunity shows up and you defeat them at that one particular thing. But there's going to be lots of opportunities that show up because you don't quit and because you have that winning mentality, right? There'll be other secondary or sideline circumstances and opportunities that open up that you can take advantage of, or people will pull you into because they see that you're a warrior, they see that you're a fighter, that you're not a quitter, right? And they want that in with what they're doing. So even though you lost the one thing that you were currently engaging in, new opportunities open up for winners. Whereas the quitter will walk away from an opportunity before it has actually been able to come into total fruition. Because they see the one game that they're playing and they go, oh, this is going to lose. There's no point in me putting out my energy here. This game's already too far gone, right? But what happens is when they turn away and they shut down on that, right? They're going to do that in other aspects of their life. And that same person who is watching, who had this opportunity, right? They're not concerned in the final score of the game. They're concerned with the spirit of the people who are on the court. Does that make sense? When we're in the game, we're worried about the scoreboard. But in the bigger picture, we want the people who are winners to work in our teams, to work in our companies, to be a part of our organizations or whatever that might be, the community-wise. You don't want people who are quitters coming onto your team. So whether it's the game, right? Because no one ever remembers that game. They remember the people's spirit on the court. They remember the people's spirit on the field. And when you start quitting at things too early, quitting becomes a habit. And you'll start quitting on many things, whether it's relationships, whether it's jobs, whether it's opportunities, projects, right? Your goals, maybe you're quitting on them. Because as soon as you start to go, I don't see the benefit in the one outcome of this, right? You're missing out on all the other benefits of discipline and commitment, right? On finishing what you start, on earning your own self-respect. We need that crucible so we can earn our own self-respect, because when we earn our own self-respect, then we have too much respect for ourselves to allow ourselves to quit and walk away from a challenge, or to walk away with things unfinished, because we know we're better than that. We know we can do better than that. And this puts into cycle, right, of a winning mentality, of a winning habit, where we can start to carry that through our lives, and it opens up so many opportunities. So, I would challenge you, the next time you find yourself in something that just doesn't seem like maybe it's not really worth it, but you've already started it, but you feel like maybe at this point it's not really worth it, I would highly consider, or have you consider, well, what is the cost of me quitting? What is the cost of me not finishing? And will you respect yourself more or less for quitting on yourself versus quitting on that project, quitting on that goal? Because it's not the goal or the project or the team or the sport that's really important. It's, are you quitting on yourself or not? Because your self-respect is so vital in setting a foundation for so many other things that you're going to do in your life. If you can't respect yourself, then no one else will. How can you expect someone else to respect you when you can't even respect yourself? Well, how you earn your own respect, this is one of those ways. You finish what you start. And something that you start, you do it as best as you can. Regardless of what the reward is, you do it based on the principle, and the rewards will show up in many ways. And maybe it's not even going to be the way that you initially thought it would come, but the rewards will come. So, I hope this story helps. I hope you find some benefit of that. If you haven't trained with us online, check out our online training series. The information's below on our Full Spectrum Warrior website, where we're going to take this topic and we're going to go into even more details on the action steps of how do you become a winner, and how do you start making that winning mentality be something that's consistent within your life versus a mediocre mentality, or a quitting mentality where you're easy to give up, you're easy to quit, you're easy to let yourself down or let others down, right? So how do we become accountable not only to the people around us, but how do we become accountable to ourselves? That's that winning mentality. And it's a lifestyle, it's a habit. So, train with us online, Full Spectrum Warrior. We're going to go into the action steps on how you can develop those skills in your personal life, in your personal routine, right? If not, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you found value in it. And again, stay tuned for the next Get Your Head Under the Boat video coming out shortly. Thank you.